Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, Yvonne Kraeher, Leigh Stima, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Leigh, Yvonne, and myself, with the Realm of Beings, eagerly invite you to join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Hello, and welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. I'm Leigh, and I'm here with Yvonne and Gretta, and as always, the Realm of Beings. And we are very happy to be on Transformation Talk Radio every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Thank you for joining us today live or at any time later. I was going to say the future, but maybe not. These conversations help you examine your life and your creation of reality. They will help you to shift your impressions and understand what you're creating in your life and how it shows up. Every week, we discuss a quote that Gretta has downloaded from the Realm of Beings, and this week it is no different. Last week, we did a little something different, and today we're back to the normal format. So we will be talking about the quotation just in time for Christmas. Oh, come all ye faithful and recognize the glory of your essence. I mean, when I first saw that quote, I said Christmas because it's a line from, I think, a Christmas song that many of us may be familiar with if we were participating in that faith at one point in our lives. So we picked it because of its maybe familiarity to some that could be listening around this time, and maybe we can shift some things about it. So let's see what happens this week. Ladies, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Leigh. Good morning.
So we're talking about this. Oh, come all ye faithful and recognize the glory of your essence. So where do we start? Faith.
All the faithful people. I wonder what that means.
Trust.
All the faithful people.
Like trusting people. Does faith imply trust? You know, without questioning it, just sort of a...
I think from a human perspective, faith would entail looking at the present and people looking into the future. It kind of reeks of looking into the future. So it's supporting that illusion of future. Because you, faithful, say it again, faithful what?
Come all ye faithful and recognize the glory of your essence.
Come all ye faithful, come all ye faithful. Coming to a thought. But the faithful, see, come all ye faithful, that's almost like, let me look outside of myself. I'm looking outside of myself. I have faith in something. All ye faithful people. That means all the people we're talking about have faith in something. And you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did on one of the podcasts, we got into a discussion about what is faith itself. You know, But I would see it as something that we have to take internally. Come all ye faithful and glory in your essence, or in the glory of your essence.
Recognize the
Recognize.
glory of your
Oh,
essence.
now see, that's challenging, because how many people recognize that? Some people downgrade themselves, think of themselves as not accomplishing things that they wanted to. They look at their friends. I've had people say they look at their friends, and when they're younger, they look at, and they say, oh, well, they have their houses, they're married, they have their children. I'm in my 30s or I'm in my 40s. I don't have that, so they become unfaithful to themselves. See, it's to the self. Faith has got to be to the self, not external. So come all ye faithful. That means come here. I think, and I know the realm is going to add to it, but come here. But come here. The here is not out there to the here. It's not saying come here. It's the here is the inner being. All ye faithful. All ye faithful. That means realize your greatness. Move internally, because that's the direction you want to go into, not external. Faith is internal, and it's definitely, I think, Leigh, you use the word trust.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Yeah, I trying to connect the dots with my own experiences with the term faithful, in terms of, what Gretta just elaborated on, and shifting maybe from the traditional idea of faith. And I've always experienced faith in terms of a religious context, which means, you have faith, belief, acceptance of something that you can't really see, like faith in the Lord or God or Jesus, whatever. And I think that's where a lot of people come from, those ideas or cultures that are pretty powerful in society today. But as we do on our podcast, we try to open up and look at things from other perspectives, which I think Gretta very was succinctly expressing the fact that faith is something that comes, that's internal, that is not out there. You're not going to find it in any particular person, place, thing, religion, whatever, because you have to be looking or accepting yourself and moving into that state of, here we go again, unconditional love, which connects the second part of that quote, our quote, recognize the glory of your essence. So when you recognize that you are the force and you are everything, connected to everything, then that's a state of glory and unconditional love. So that's my opening passage. Take it or leave it.
Yes, I mean, when I was reading it, I was thinking, oh, kind of clever realm of beings, because I think maybe it's like sort of like a catch line, for many of us who have experience in a particular faith. So, because if you think of the song that some of us may be familiar with, I think the line goes, "Oh, come, O ye faithful, joyful and triumphant," right? So that's sort of turning it like joyful and triumphant. What? Well, if you can have faith, like recognize like the joy and the triumph within, or like, maybe faith, like people could be faithful to that illusion, but if you can turn and see all the joy that, is potential internally, then you can recognize that glory of your essence. I mean, it's a challenge, I have to say.
It's a
And there
challenge.
is some faith in that for sure. Because, I was just telling Yvonne before the podcast, I was a little hungry and there was not much joy coming out of this one. My fuse was very short and I was not the epitome of joy. So, it is about, stopping and pivoting. But I mean, that's the beauty part, right? Because when you're feeling all of that stress and tension, that is like you're knowing that you're in direct opposition to what your really essence is. Like that's the indicator, that's the warning light, that's the amber light glowing, right? Like, okay, stop, take a few breaths, see what's going on, maybe apologize to the man behind the counter you were just not really yelling at, but being annoyed with. And take a minute to regroup.
Pausing always
faithful.
helps. Yes. Taking that pause, taking a breath, and just being still for a minute, I think is good advice. Greta, we can't hear you.
I know, I muted myself when I started coughing.
Coughing,
So
right.
here's that
Right.
coughing again. Want to make sure everybody gets this right. But I was thinking what I was going to tell you about Kai, my daughter. Last night she worked the night shift, so she had to come home in the snow, right, and that blizzard and all that kind of stuff. So she has to take an Uber. So she was standing out there. She had called the Uber. She said, and then she called me. She said, I don't know why these Ubers, I've had 3 or 4 of them say they're coming and then they turn and go a different way. I don't know why they're doing this and da 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 da. And so I told her, be calm. And I think that's one thing Leigh was saying, both of you are saying. Be calm. I said, because when you're angry and upset about something, you're stepping outside of your essence of who you are. You're also, the anger is assisting you in not accomplishing what you want.
Right.
Not. Because it's anger is very strong. It's a cousin to fear. And fear brings you what you fear. So
Right.
anger is something else as well, and it's similar. So I told her, I said, if you want that Uber to get home, because we're talking about 11:20 at night. I said, you want that Uber to come, to be there, you've got to stop being angry that it's not there. First of all, you've got to see that it's there, and see, this is faith. Faith itself. Faith in self. You got to see that it's there. You have to be calm to receive that, it coming. You have to see it coming and be calm about it coming. And I told her, I said, so, we did some energy work real quick. And I said, now calm down. Calm down. I said, call me back in 5 minutes. So she called me back in 5 minutes. She said, it's on its way. I said, good. And it got there, picked her up, and, he took her home. So, that was a good reminder for me. There's no need for me to get excited over it. I don't mean excited like, yay, happy birthday. I'm not talking about that excitement. I'm talking about what?
Right. Jump on her bandwagon of her anger stream, right? Or I mean, of course, it would be no, it would be mom reaction, worry, fear. Oh, my
Right,
daughter's standing out in the cold in the blizzard. Oh, I should get here. But
right.
right,
And see, that's where faith comes in also. To have faith in yourself that you can do it. See, that's not an outside thing, that's an internal thing. I can do this, I can accomplish this. If you're in school, I can get an A in this class. I can do it. You know, but claim it, as they say, quote unquote, claim it. That's faith in yourself. When you start saying the stuff like, oh, this is hard for me. I don't really think I can do this. Blah, blah, blah. And you halfway down the rabbit hole, and then you might even get down there to the bottom of it. You know, you've lost faith. You've lost the belief in yourself.
it's like I was just looking at something. I had read something a while ago, and I knew we were coming to this. It's talking about faith is like a sense of internal clarity once you've seen through your shadows, right? The shadows are the anger, the fear, the I can do it. Once you pull yourself, step aside a little bit from those shadows, and that is, if you can do that, I guess that is the point where you're recognizing that you are more than that personality may be telling you at that moment, right? It's source that calls us to maybe make that pivot to lead us out from our woe is me state to, okay, I was down there for a minute, but okay, my intuition is telling me something else, because how this feels is not feeling so good.
Right. And another thing I want to tack on to that is growing up as children, that we, depending on what parents we chose because of what lessons we wanted to learn, sometimes we've chosen lessons where we are ridiculed in our own family. Sometimes you can be ridiculed by your siblings, you can be ridiculed by your parents, or treated badly, or told that you can't accomplish anything. You're no good, you'll never amount to anything. You can hear all that stuff. As children, we accept it because we think that the parents have power over us. And then the parents think that they have power over us. So it's both of us thinking that the power is theirs, not mine. And see, but as we grow older, then sometimes we're still in the same mess. We're still creating life that's and experiences and realities that are representative of them telling us those things. Now the shifting.
How do we move that? Because like we talk about we have a lot of the same themes, conversations during these podcasts, but like what is the thing that moves people out of that from their childhood programming and non-acceptance of their worth or whatever? Because I see, we go back here, but the little detour I feel like taking is that, like, what about people that show up in your life that, again, does that go back to support, create support? Like, you might think you feel you're so worthy, but then you have these experiences that don't reflect that. What's going on there? Like, the guy behind the counter.
That means, and you aren't worthy at the deep level of your being. You don't feel that. So if you're not experiencing things that support you in feeling worthy, instead they're supporting you and feeling not worthy, then that's where the inner being is. That's where your unconscious is.
So you
And
have to work on your unconscious and flip
yeah,
that switch.
yeah. So, you know, it's like I think about the people that are our listening audience. For people to listen to this program means that they want to find a way of alleviating the quote unquote power of the illusion.
Mm.
See, because on this program, we talk about, let's clean up the illusions. Let's move the illusions. Because lack of faith is an illusion. We could say that faith is also an illusion, but that would take us another hour to discuss why we could say that. But for right now, we're just going to say anything of low vibration is taking you out of your inner essence. It's taking you out of the belief and faith that you have inside yourself. And then how do you do that? Look at programs like our podcast, read books that talk about changing your realities, do the affirmations, you know, that we've suggested, do the QDRs, the quick displace replace. A lot of people are using that one.
Good.
You know, I hear of a lot of people. I said, wow, that was a great thing that we were given, you know, to share with everybody. You know, the QDR, quick displace replace. And at the end you say, what do you say? I love myself unconditionally. And for those people who don't remember what QDRs are, it means here's one, I'll give you one. I release all emotions and thoughts that have supported me, here's that support, who have supported me in creating and maintaining lack of prosperity. I love myself unconditionally. And that part of the QDR, which I release all emotions that support me in, then you tag on what you wanted what you want to say, what you want to get rid of. Because in the QDR, it's different from affirmations. The QDR encourages you to name the exact thing you want to get rid of, whereas affirmations affirm what you want. QDR, what you don't want. So you can go on there and name it. The energy is going to say, whoa, that's what you want to get through. And it's going to be like a computer. Because
It's like a little Pac-Man sort of eating up those things that are not serving you. And once, you know, again, like the refrigerator, maybe I'm going to clean out that refrigerator of all that nasty stuff. Like, I don't want that in there anymore. Take it out, make it nice and clean. And so I can put in some nice, fresh, delicious fruits, vegetables, and food that's going to nourish me. So, you know, like that, I think we need to like really, you know, especially at this time of the year, you know, like they think, or a lot of people think, oh, New Year's resolutions, should probably be doing it regularly so we don't wait a whole year to like have everything pile up and accumulate. But it is a good time to reset because we're changing, you know, the calendar's moving into that new year. And of course, this time of the year, the solstice, people believe the winter solstice, which just happened, was a good time. You know, the sun actually changes. We go from the shortest day of the year to lengthening the days until you get to the summer solstice, and that's the longest day of the year. That's a time to clear out energetically. So, you know, people do ceremonies around that, and to make space for what we do want. And I think with those tools, those intentions, process could happen a little quicker. So
Most definitely, most definitely. Leigh, do you think it's time for us to move to the second segment?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Because Colton showed us 15 minutes had passed.
Yes,
5 or 10 minutes ago.
right. I had mentioned to him about our break schedule. He was just keeping us,
Oh, yeah, there you
there.
go. See,
Uh,
there he is. Thanks, Colton. Thank you.
So I said that I do not want to take a break right now because I had to interject a little something that I have a tendency to think that probably a lot of our listenership are female. And I had an experience just a couple of days ago, and I guess it's something that could maybe secure some faith. Um, I was having a really, really terrible uh, menstrual cramps. I mean, like almost doubling over. And I said, "Oh my God, what is this?" I quickly ran to the resource, and I only have access to Louise Hay's resource at the moment, and I quickly looked it up and I said, "Oh, we." So it says menstrual problems are rejection of one's femininity, guilt, fear, belief that the genitals are sinful and dirty. And I said, "Oh, okay," because there were some other interesting things kind of circulating around in that space. And so I said exactly what Greta teaches us. I release thoughts, emotions, feelings that have been supporting my rejection of my femininity, guilt, fear, and the belief that my genitals are sinful or dirty. I may have been using that. That may have helped me for a while, but I no longer need it. And I am loving myself unconditionally. I tell you, it was like within a matter of a few minutes that the pain subsided. And it was really interesting. I think I also may have added too, and I don't know, you can correct me. I said I release any sort of generational ties to these emotions and feelings as well, whether it is mine or in my, matrilineal line. Please let it go.
Wow, that was deep. That was deeply.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. That was a big one. That's very good for our
Yeah.
listeners to keep in mind.
Right. And to see that it works. See that
Yes.
thing, it works. But there was a pastor here in Chicago. I've forgotten her name just that fast. It just faded like that. Johnny Coleman, Dr. Johnny Coleman. She used to always say, "It works if you work it."
Mm.
And I used to say, "Wow, that was so prophetic to me." It works if you work. In other words, if you believe that it's going to work for you, it's going to work for you.
That's the placebo effect. So
Yes.
Your creation of reality, right?
Right. Because I had a friend, she's no longer in this reality, but she came to class, a metaphysical class we were in, and she said, I had a headache and I had no aspirin or anything to take for the headache. But so she said, I went and got 2 vitamins and I stood in the mirror in my bathroom and I raised up the vitamins and I said, you see these? These are going to take your headache away. These are aspirin. They are taking your headache away. So she took them. And then she said within so many minutes, her headache was gone. So that's a sign of belief. What you believe in, you're going to get. What you speak is what you're going to get. And that's one reason why we ask people to always watch what you think, watch what you speak.
Well, there comes the faith part. Oh, come all ye faithful, and recognize your glory of the what was it again? The glory of your essence. So that's a great place to take a pause, because now we really are at the halfway mark. And if you're a regular listener, you know that after the break, we come back with the realm of beings, and let's see what they have in store for us today. So listeners, I know it's a busy time of year. We just want to express our gratitude for all of you for being with us and giving the time up to take in these lessons and shift your impressions. So stay tuned. After the break, we'll be back with the realm of beings. Thanks.
Hello, and welcome back to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. Thank you, listeners, for staying with us. We reached the part in our podcast where the Realm of Beings weighs in on their quotation. So, Realm, are you with us?
Yes, we're here.
Hello. So, today we've been talking about your quotation, "Oh, come, all ye faithful, and recognize the glory of your essence." What wisdom do you have to share with us today?
The first thing that comes to our mind is to say, you are the force. Regardless if you believe it or not, you are the force. It doesn't seem like it though, because you can't taste yourself being the force. You can't feel yourself being the force because you've created very interesting experiences and attached a lot of emotional illusions to those experiences to give them more life and to make them stronger. So you can't see yourself as the force. You can't see the person who, as you put it, kills or murders somebody. You can't see that person as being the force. How could the force do something like that? Yes. When you get to the point of recognition or even beginning to get a teeny weeny recognition of you being the force, you are beginning to have more faith in self. Because when you recognize that, then you recognize all. And you don't put judgment to it. So faith in self can be also explained as the knowing that you are the force. Now, to many of you in this listening audience, you think that's impossible. That how can I be that? They're not speaking the truth. They don't know what they're talking about. Oh, yeah, I understand. But it doesn't matter because it is what it is. It's like many of you don't believe, have the faith that you create your own reality. So what do? You blame other people. My Aunt Sally did that to me, and now I hate all women. Or my boss treats me poorly. He's a male, so now I hate all males, or I don't like all males, or I have trouble with males. I can't be with a male from female or male even.
But all of those things you're just talking about, Realm, all of those things you just expressed right now are just reinforcements of the first of the first belief that my boss is X and then X, Y, and Z. It's just reaffirming the false premise.
Absolutely. But
to create it, to keep creating it and keep creating it and keep having it show up.
Yes, because it's showing up and showing up because you're creating it to show up and show up and show up because you didn't learn it, the lesson that's attached to the show up.
Right. But most people would, I think there are many out there who would just keep saying, oh, it's Tom, it's Dick, it's Harry, and they wouldn't find that the only thing between Tom, Dick, and Harry is me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're going to say again, nobody can do anything to you ever. I want to say that again. Nobody can ever do anything to you. Why? Because you create your own reality. You are the force that creates your own reality. And you are the force with a capital F. Yes. No one can do anything to you. So we highly suggest have faith in yourself and note that you don't have to blame your mama. You don't have to blame your daddy. You don't have to blame God. Some people do that. Oh, God didn't help me, but he helped Sue Ann, but he didn't help me. Notice I said he. Well, that's an interesting concept into itself.
Realm, can we get back to faith a little bit?
Yes, let's go for it.
Okay. Is faith, what is it? We would like to think that it's some kind of trust, but is like not trust in the exterior, but it's all about trusting in your interior. Is it tied in with the concept of intuition? What source knows? Or can you unwrap that a little bit? What do you think?
Faith.
Yes.
We've been talking about it. It's a knowingness. You begin to develop a knowingness about yourself. Having faith in yourself is a knowingness. It's a belief in yourself. But see, belief and knowingness are two different things. So we're going to stay with knowingness. I know I can accomplish this task. I know that I can write this book and it is successful. Why? Because I created it to be that way. I know I'm doing well in the stock market, even though everybody else is experiencing the stock market is in recession. I think that's what you call it. And money is going down and everybody's going, woe is me. But you don't have to be there. You can have faith in yourself and know I'm not going to go through that collective consciousness. I have faith in myself that I will make wise decisions during this period of time. Quote unquote time, because that time does not exist. You see, faith, knowingness, synonymous with each other. Faith, knowingness. And then I'm going to add a third word to it, remembering. Faith, knowingness, remembering. Because you're not teaching anything new. I don't care where you go, you're not learning anything new. You think you're learning something new, but you're not learning anything new. What you're doing is remembering. It's an awakening in you, remembering. And as you remember, you accept the knowledge that you are remembering at the point that you are remembering it. Because see, the remembering extends and extends and extends. It's like building blocks. You put one block on top of the other, then the other one goes on top of that, and the other one goes on top of that. You're building your remembrance. And where's that remembrance? By faith, you know it is inside you. And the building blocks are remembering that you are the force. More and more and more you build the blocks. It doesn't matter how you build the blocks, but you have faith. You have faith in yourself. A person who's going to go and rob a bank is going to first have faith in themselves that they can rob the bank. They might not have faith in themselves that they won't get caught, but they have faith that they can rob it, you see. So faith goes all over the place. It just doesn't stay. Faith that I can walk again. You've lost your legs through, created to do that through some kind of trauma. Yet I have faith that I can walk again. I have faith that I cannot die. Death is an illusion. I have faith that I am creating peace in my life at every moment. I have faith that I am doing that. I see that faith segues, like I said earlier, into knowing this. Not only do I have faith that I am successful the way I want to be successful, but I have a knowingness as well. They go hand in hand.
Can we add another word? Can we add that it's kind of like a confidence, faith, like you're so sure of it?
Sure. Sure, add that to it. Give that energy more strength. Yes, I'm confident. I'm confident in myself that I can do this. When at the circus, when the people walk the high wire, look at that. Some people walk the high wire in the circus. Some people decide, one family walked across, or the father walked across Niagara Falls.
Mm.
They had to have faith in themselves. They had to have faith in their feet. They had to have faith in their legs, that their legs were going to hold up. They had to have faith that they were in perfect balance in reference to gravity. They had to have faith and the knowingness and the confidence and the remembering all the way back into the unconscious that holds, yes, you are the force. Now, they might not have consciously thought that they are the force, but at the unconscious level, it's recognized. It's recognized in everybody. It's recognized. I don't care if you are homeless. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're behind bars, but your unconscious, way back there, recognizes you are the force at all times and have always been the force. What you're doing is bringing it more and more and more to the conscious level through your experiences that you create. So faith can go to something that is what you would judge as negative. Faith can go to something that you would judge as being good. See, it's a word, it's an energy that I can shift over here and have faith in myself that I am going to do whatever, that other people will say, oh, that's wrong, we have to lock that person up. Or over here, I am doing something, I have faith that I am doing something wonderful for humanity. I'm saving the trees, I'm saving the animals. You see, faith. So faith can go. Faith is faith. Faith is faith. And how you use it is up to you. But the bottom line of it is the unconscious has the faith that it recognizes that regardless of which path you choose, you are still the force. The unconscious recognizes that because the unconscious is the force. So it recognizes itself.
And that's the unconditional love bit, the force, like I think everything is created from that love energy. So that's what you are, and that's what it will always be. So it is only the judgments of the personality about, right, wrong, enough, not enough.
Absolutely. And some of the realities that are created can be judged as so heinous. So what you want to do is release yourself from that judgment. Because
can we cue our judgment?
Yes, absolutely. I release all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining the idea that I must judge everything. I must judge people. I must judge incidences. I must judge
places, things, everything. This judge comes out.
Yes. Yes.
For me, at least, I will just speak for myself.
Yeah. So you can release that. You can release anything that you don't want. Remember, you're the force. You can do anything.
You can be or do or have anything.
Absolutely. The only thing that keeps you from that is you as that, but it's the personality.
Right, the resistance.
You see, the personality is what helps you to determine. Like, I like that person's energy but what you're looking at, well, you're not feeling their total deep down essence, but you're beginning to get there. You're feeling like the personality of the person. And not only that, but you judge the personality of the person. That's how you judge, do I want this person to be my friend or not? Do I want to hang out with this person? No, I don't think so. But I'll hang out with person B, but I don't want to hang out with person A. That's judgment. But as you judge it, do you want to do B? Do you want to do A? So are you judging yourself? Because you are one with A and B, as A and B are one with each other. So when you judge somebody, you are judging yourself.
And that's that whole reflection concept, right? Like things reflect off others, kind of back to us.
Take it deeper than that reflection, but that's a good example. But let's go past that concept. The
Okay.
reason why is because we're all one. There is no separation. So when you have war with somebody, you're having war with yourself. When you beat up on somebody, you're beating up on yourself. When you tell somebody, oh, you are such a wonderful person, you are saying that to yourself. You see.
My mother once told me, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
Ah, wise woman. Wise woman, because as you speak it, so do you create it.
Realm, we're nearly to the wrapping up the podcast. Do you have any last wisdom to share with us on this? O come, O ye faithful, and experience all of your glory. Is that...
Mm-hmm. It's the glory of oneness. But it takes time to understand this because you're so engrossed in illusion. You're so engrossed in illusion. If you don't smell it, you don't see it, you don't feel it. What's another thing? You don't hear it. It ain't there. It ain't real. It ain't real. But the interesting thing is that the things that you think are real are not real. So you've got to flip, okay? You've got to shift your impression and realize that what you think is real is really the illusion.
Realm, thank you for joining us today. Yvonne, do you have any final thoughts?
I would just like to thank everybody that's listening today and listening at another time, and wish everybody a joyous holiday season, whatever you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate a particular holiday, celebrate yourself and remember the glory of your essence today and every day.
Thank you. Thank you, Greta. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Realm of Beings, for sharing your wisdom. And more importantly, thank you, listeners, for joining us today. That is another episode of Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, until we create each other again.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with Leigh, Yvonne, the Realm, and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multidimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.